Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 415.
415.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. We just got together with them. They did a Harmonious dessert party. So there still are dessert parties and such going on in World Showcase. And we really enjoyed that, having a kind of that front row spot. But check them out. Go to their website and fill out a no obligation form.
So first off, this week we're going to talk about Disney Genie service.
So the Disney Genie service, the service itself is complimentary except for the part where you get to the Disney Genie Plus. Mm-hmm. So we will talk about that. But first, you did an interview with Nicole from Disney. And we're going to see that first.
And I wanted to say the sound is not optimal in this interview because it was a small, crowded room. But I tried to do the best I could picking it up. And then we'll go on and talk more about Disney Genie Plus and the Lightning Lane after this interview.
Disney Genie is designed to maximize guest time so they can have even more fun. What that means is it's very easy for guests to get started with Disney Genie. Maybe you have some specific attractions you want to go on or restaurants you want to go to, or if you're not sure, maybe you just want to give Genie some interest. Princesses, pirates, thrill rides. What Genie will do is evaluate hundreds of thousands of combinations of possible itineraries, presenting you back with the best one to optimize your day so you spend less time waiting in line. If you think about it, technology has finally advanced to allow us to take our forecasted wait times, our restaurant reservations availability, mobile orders, show times, and we combine all that and we evaluate it when we look at optimizing your day. That way, you don't have to do the work. Disney Genie can do the work of sending you back with that optimized day. Now, what's even better is that it's not set in stone. It's flexible and it adjusts. So let's say that it's the Florida afternoon thunderstorm rolls in and Big Thunder Mountain goes down. Genie will re-optimize the day for the guest. Or if you wanted to change plans, be spontaneous, and you wanted to place a mobile order, visit another attraction, Genie can re-optimize your day for you. Now there's other features within Disney Genie service as well. So our attraction tip board. Now our attraction tip board gives you a list of all of the attractions, what the current standby wait time is, and for the first time ever, forecasted wait time. So if you're interested in going on Big Thunder Mountain, you can see what the projected wait time is 5 hours from now. Okay? Now we also have a dining tip board. So the dining tip board shows a guest the list of all the restaurants and what the next available time to eat is, whether it's placing a mobile order. We pull in all of the restaurant reservations that are available, and you can even join a restaurant wait list directly through the dining tip board too. So it's a suite of complimentary tools designed to make our day at the park even easier for our guests. Okay? Now what I'd also like to show you is a fun new feature that we're introducing with Disney Genie Plus. So that is Photopass Lenses. So with the Photopass Lenses, Disney
and we know,
Genie Plus guests can have fun bringing some of our favorite characters to life. So here's Remy.
That's great.
Gonna help us out here. Be better chefs. Then we also have recreating a fan favorite classic. See, there we go. All right. And the Genie himself coming to life. See that?
Fun here. I don't know, you gotta get in there.
So these are just a sample of the lenses that we've included here, but there will be 20 for launch. And that's all included with Disney Genie Plus service. So we've got Disney Genie complimentary for everybody and Disney Genie Plus, and we're excited to launch that. It's coming soon, later this fall.
And they just announced that that will be October 19th. So that is a week from tomorrow. So
and we will be testing it in person.
Probably, yes. That is a plan right now to try that out. So the regular Disney Genie starts also, everything starts October 19th. And that has tailored recommendations, personalized daily itinerary, and then the custom tip board. We'll see what that looks like. Mm-hmm. Disney Genie Plus, however, does cost money. It is more similar to me to Max Pass at Disneyland. That used to be at Disneyland, and I loved Max Pass than Fast Pass, but it's still very similar. They're similar systems. The Disney Genie Plus is $15 per ticket per day. It does not include every single attraction. There's 2 attractions in every park it does not include. and you only get every couple of hours you get to choose something, and then
well, it's just like Max
Max
Pass.
Pass.
So you would choose an attraction, and then when you ride it, you can choose another one based on availability. And I should say Disneyland's version of Genie Plus has not been announced when that will start yet.
And so also it looks like you can only do one of each attraction.
Correct.
Of that of the $15 per day one.
And there's also the paid one, the Lightning Lane.
Well, the additional paid one, the additional paid one, and then you're paying individually.
So for Ratatouille, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, even if you are willing to pay for it, you can only do that once per day.
Right, and you can do up to 2, 1 per, and then like Ratatouille, the first day it'll be $9, and then another day it might be $11. Rise of the Resistance on those first few days is like $15. So right now, we'll see what it, like during the seasonal times, Christmas, we'll see what it comes up to.
Yeah, it's dynamic pricing, just like a concert or other high demand event. And what we'll do is we're going to link to your great article at the end of the show, and also in the show notes, and that'll have it so you can actually look at all those attractions that are the special versions.
Are concerts dynamic?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So
I don't buy concert tickets.
If you're going to a concert, at first, if it's a very high demand show, the prices go up, but then if there's plenty of tickets left available, the prices actually can go down. So that's dynamic pricing.
I am
like
learning.
The airlines as well.
Well, I actually didn't. I just figured that concert tickets were pretty much whatever the concert tickets were, so I had no idea.
And I'm thinking concerts because I just got to see Kiss again, so I'm still happy about that. It was a great time the other day. So nothing to do with this.
No.
So now we're heading over to Epcot for the rest of the show, starting with Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
And this is an attraction and the pavilion, which will open in 2022. Wonders of Xandar Pavilion has been announced. If we first saw it in the Portrait of Walt Disney World book, and I thought that was very interesting.
Well, what was exciting is while I was at this event for the 50th anniversary, I actually got to go inside this building you're looking at here, the main ride building, which is huge. When we walked in there and I looked up, I couldn't believe how tall. I mean, I'm looking up as I'm talking. I'm just visualizing. It is so huge in there with all that track, and then we're told that it's only half the ride. It's the longest indoor roller coaster in the world, so it looks like it'll be amazing.
Well, it's supposed to be one of the largest, enclosed, so it'll be. I can't wait for it. Like you said, it kind of reminds you of Crush's Coaster at Disneyland Paris. So we'll see if that plays out.
So I got to interview Wyatt all about the coaster, and here is our interview.
I'm Wyatt Winter, a senior producer at Walt Disney Imagineering, and I am working on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And so we're standing in front of one of our ride vehicles here, and what makes this so special is that this new system is really going to put you into that story. And so while you're on the coaster, what's going to be different, we can rotate and turn you to the action, really put you in that story. So just like we've done for years at our attractions like Haunted Mansion with our Omni Mover, we now have an Omni Coaster that can do the same thing and just point you to what we want you to look at and see and experience. And so the media, show sets, lighting, all of that coming together, and especially music, because we are with the Guardians of the Galaxy, on your adventure through space and time.
And I just heard today they announced the name of the pavilion.
We did. So we have the Wonders of Xandar Pavilion coming here. So the planet of Xandar is coming to Epcot for the first Otherworld Showcase Pavilion.
And you were mentioning about the ride vehicle size for the riders.
So you see here, so I think we've done a lot of effort to kind of design our vehicle to be as accessible for all different types of guests here. And so this one, have sat in one of our vehicles as well, and it's a great coaster vehicle.
Now, when we had a chance to go inside and see the track, I noticed there were some points where it looked like it was on almost sideways at point. What's the thrill factor on this?
So this is really a family thrill coaster and attraction. So we really are kind of slotted in. You think you've graduated up from Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but maybe not quite ready for Rock and Roller Coaster. This is the one for you.
Excellent. So no looping or anything on it, right?
It's really all about the rotation and turning you side to side into the action here.
Excellent.
Yeah, I can't believe after being inside that building, we only saw half. I mean, it was incredible
It is one of a massive attractions. So as you said, you saw half of it inside that ride box there. And on the other half, where you'll see inside the park, the Wonders of Xandar Pavilion, that is so much more going to be taking place in there as well, to create really this massive, one-of-a-kind attraction.
Is this taking place in like a certain time period and with the movies, or is it more timeless?
This is going to be really kind of this timeless story that's specific here to Epcot and what we are doing with the Guardians, with the Wonders of Xandar.
Well, thank you very much. We're very excited to check this out.
Thank you. Yeah, we want to get you back here in 2022 so you can ride it.
Yeah, I forgot. That was just announced.
It was.
Next year,
Yep.
2022.
Exactly. Cool. Thank you.
And I forgot to mention my friend Craig from the Diz was with me. That's the other voice you may have heard. So we hung out and did some interviews together to save time that day, and it worked out pretty good.
We saw him in the background in the last
Yes.
section also.
Yes. So anyway, this looks amazing. I can't wait for this. I think I'm more excited about this than even Tron for me.
I think so. For myself also, I don't know if I will do as well with Tron. It's more of a motorbike type thing. But this, I think I will love.
So this was our very first time seeing the fountains running on the Harmonious barges. I guess that's what you'd call them.
And it was only for a few minutes on this day, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, they turned off. I
Yeah,
don't know
really
if
quick.
it was just testing or if this is the final version, but I can tell you from looking at the concept art, it seemed that the waterfall was more of a dense waterfall, and you couldn't even see there was anything behind it. So I don't know. I really don't know if this is the finished version or not.
I have no idea. So we will say there.
This is what it looked like, at least when we had
Yes.
the one time it was running that we saw it.
And we were heading to Space 220. You have discussed it, especially in another show. And this is my first time. You have been here 2 other times. I feel like you live there. We were invited.
Not for dinner, though.
no,
This was our first,
this was
my first dinner experience.
Yes, you've been there twice for lunch. So we were invited to come here to Space 220 together for dinner. We could have chosen lunch, but you've already done 2 lunches.
Right.
And we wanted to see sunset. So during sunset, you kind of see it go from day
Daytime,
to
the Earth kind
right,
of,
day to night.
you know.
And that was a pretty quick. Right now we're in the Stellarvator. This is a space elevator. We're leaving Earth. We're going 220 miles above Earth.
Right, to the Centauri space station, and here we are. We are coming to that. This is your recording that you did on the cell phone, and we're going to show a mixture of all of that. But it was really great to be able to be back there with you, and already you could see that it is starting. The Earth is starting to have nighttime coming in.
And that was pretty much when we got there. So we arrived almost on. It was like 7 p.m.
o'clock.
We had a 7 p.m. reservation, and by like 10 after 7, it was already getting pretty dark. And I thought that was very interesting. If you're here for daytime, it looks like daytime, and now it
Nighttime.
looks all like night.
And you'll see here, it is already fully nighttime.
Yes, but when we arrived, it was a very quick transition. It was quicker than I expected. So we ended up getting a couple of drinks. We each were able to get 1 drink, and then we added a couple in after that. But that was the planetary punch, and that includes the coconut. To me, was the heavy taste there, and that is
With the dry
Bacardi
ice,
Silver
I kind of
also.
like how it bubbles.
And then we had the red. I had the Red Star with Jameson and dragon fruit. So this is my Caesar salad. It's a Caesar salad. Not too off base of
I thought it was
regular
a good.
Caesar
I
salad.
had this one for lunch one of the times, but because I had already had it, I tried a different salad, and it was great. What was the name of?
It's called what you had was the Galaxy Grain Salad. I didn't try it with quinoa, beluga, lentils, roasted red and golden beets, king oyster mushrooms, and cashew hummus. There's very little in that I would end up
all of that
eating.
was wonderful. The beets, different types of beets there, and I love the cashew hummus. You wouldn't think all of this would work together, but it works wonderfully. It was a fantastic salad.
You can see who's a little bit more of a creative eater. Like me,
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'd
okay,
never-
I'll take the Caesar.
Yeah, I wanted something I had never had anything like before, and I thought it was very good. Now we're taking a look at the sipper.
Right, that's the kids, and we did not take one home. We don't have one.
Yeah, we borrowed
Kids-
one for
yes.
the video here.
Kids Zero Proof Sipper. It's $12. It includes Space 220 collectible cards. It's really cute, and I think a lot of kids seem to have them in the area. So, while the adults are having their adult drinks, kids can also have something fun.
Yeah, I thought it was, as you said, nice. And I didn't realize it came with the cards, although I already have a couple decks of cards from Lange.
Yes, it says so. It says so on the menu. So
Okay.
I'm just going by.
Helps to read the menu.
I'm just going by the online menu. So I thought that was cute, and then she took it away, and we just had our adult beverages.
So speaking of that, we had a third bonus adult beverage
Well,
here.
bonus, we paid for this, our iced teas and the gratuity. So the Jupiter Fizz has Hendrick's Gin, Aperol, grapefruit, mango. This wasn't my favorite of the drinks. I mean, it's what it should taste like, but I
We just
really
wanted to
enjoyed.
try something different. It was a
Right.
nice sipping drink, though, with dinner.
The drink, yes. The drink that I had first, the Red Star, was my favorite of the three. So I had the 8-ounce filet with, it has, that Cabernet butter was amazing, really delicious, and went so well with the steak. And then it has also a potato leek croquette. And I almost was going to ask if I could get mashed potatoes or something, because I'm a very plain eater. And I know that that's pretty plain too, but I didn't know what it tastes like. It tastes like a big tater tot, pretty much. And I enjoyed it.
But the steak, I mean, I was
The
able to
steak
try
was
that
so
because
good.
you brought it home. So and the next day, it was fantastic.
I just
really
thought-
good choice.
I just thought that Cabernet butter on top of it really, really made the steak. And they do a very good job with like the broccoli and the green beans as well.
So why don't you set this up? This was a lobster feast here.
Well, you have the baked whole lobster, and it's a $20 supplement. It costs another $20 over the menu price that you're paying, which, and then it was stuffed with jumbo crab, and it's like a pound and a half lobster. And
This
you
was
loved it.
an amazing feast. It was fantastic. If you're a lobster lover like me, and it was interesting, other guests that were walking by stopped and asked, "Oh, how did you get this?" I said, "It's on the menu." They didn't notice it. So, I mean, this was fantastic. Best meal I've had all year.
So for dinner, I think the total, the fixed
It
menu
would
is,
it would put it up to $100 if this was your main.
right. It said 95 on the menu. It's a $79 meal. Then it was supposed to be another 20, but it said 95 on the menu.
Oh,
So
okay,
we're
okay.
in that. That's about how much that costs. Plus, of course, it includes the appetizer and the dessert as well. So we saw all kinds of
Spacecraft?
Yeah, spacecraft. We didn't get to see anything Star Warsy on this day, even though we kept looking out. But I must have missed it.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to be paying full attention to capture if you're looking for something specific. But you really feel like you're in space.
And I had it's like a chocolate cheesecake with whipped chocolate ganache. I thought it was good. I liked your dessert even better.
I was
though.
talking to my friend Matt from Attractions, and he also went to Space 220, and we both ordered the same thing. And Matt and I were both noticing our significant others ended up taking over the toffee item, which we both felt was the better meal. Same thing happened to Matt, so it was
Yeah.
very funny. And this was absolutely amazing. This was my choice, and I made the mistake of having you try it. And after that try, I never saw it again.
That's not true.
not true. I'm totally exaggerating, but you did like
It was
this a
really.
lot.
This was really
It
good.
was
It
amazing.
looks like it would stick to your teeth. It looks like that, but it's not. It was really, even that top part was really soft. That was.
I would
such
never
a good,
not get that if I go back. It
If
was
I
so
went
good.
back, like we would both end up getting that, and it wasn't because the chocolate cheesecake was.
It was fine, but the other one's just outstanding.
Yeah, the toffee pudding cake was really good.
So now let's briefly talk about the bar.
Well, this is a lounge area. There is a lounge menu with a few different items, at least a few different food items.
I
plus
saw they have a
drinks.
lobster roll there.
Yes.
I have to try that next.
So you can do something a little different, but that I think you have to wait in line.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a reserved area. Now this is on the way out. That's the grow zone. It's kind of just the representing fresh items that they have in the restaurant.
Right, and before we get too far, I want to mention I did find out that if you want to go to the lounge, it is, as you said, first come, first served, but it usually fills up early in the day. So I think the other day it filled up by about 3:30. So you want to go early and put your name in, and then they will text you when it's time for you to go.
But you would think maybe toward the end of the day also it wasn't so busy at like 8 p.m. So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's what I was told. Matt actually told me that. So
Okay.
it's interesting. I would like to do it. That's why. Now this is very interesting. We're going back to Earth, but for the first time for me, we're going back in the darkness. You can see the Earth is in full night mode.
I love it. You know, the restaurant, it's very much like an attraction. You know, it feels quality like an attraction. You really feel like you're, you know, going up 220 miles and then going back 220 miles. And I love how they did the day and the night.
Even
really
at night,
thought
though,
about it.
there is still that one cloud over the construction area. I've written this multiple times, and that cloud always gets in the way.
That's too bad.
You know, the attention to detail is amazing. Again, I love the fact it's night and day, and even halfway, sort of like the when we did the one in Paris at the Art of Marvel Hotel, that
the Skyline.
bar, right?
I love the Skyline bar too.
So anyway, again, one of my favorite things, probably my favorite thing to come to Epcot in a long, long time is Space 220.
And also, we'll do the lounge in the near future. I think
would
we
love
will
it.
do that.
Absolutely. And I finally had a chance to run into Club Cool, and the Nectar of the Gods was the very first place I went. I had a couple nice drinks of Beverly. I did try every other drink, and you can give me your opinion if you can remember on some of these other drinks.
There was nothing that I cared for that much. Like, it's not like, you know, I used to like the Kinley, which was kind of Sprite-like, and then the Vegeta Beta, or however you say it. And I like that, but there was nothing here that, like, I'm like, oh, I have to go back for it. Nothing.
Well, I will give my full thoughts next time when we have more time in there. It was a very quick run, but at least I finally got to go in there. Now we're going to talk about Harmonious. You're looking at some B-roll. I've seen the show now twice. I've seen it from Show Center and then from the dessert party area in Italy, and you saw it from a really great spot in Italy.
Well, we were really fortunate that MEI Travel invited us. It was a lot of their travel agents, and then us and Matt and some others who got to see it from. You can book events right now, and I thought the dessert party, the location in Italy was fantastic, and we were so fortunate to have that great spot.
So what do you think of the show? What is, now that you've seen it fully?
It's okay. It's okay.
Right.
You know, it's
hard to follow Illuminations Reflections of Earth.
I think that's a very difficult thing. Illuminations Reflections of Earth to me was still a fantastic show after 20 years. Now, there were things I did like about it. You know, I thought some of the music, of course, you know, it's music that you know, but kind of done differently. I'm not a fan of the barges. I'm not a fan of that part. But I thought there was a decent amount of fireworks. As a show, it's not something I would personally run back for. It really was just okay for me. Again, like Reflections of Earth, the first time I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and 20 years later, I still loved it. This won't have that for me, but the music is done really well. That's what Disney really pushed the music.
Right.
Really pushed the music, done in different languages. You know, it's familiar music. It's show music. It's not created.
Well, I feel that there's really only a couple great locations, the front and the back. I don't know. We'll have to see what it looks like from the side. I mean, we're seeing a bunch of different angles, but I will reserve my final judgment until I see it from the side angles.
We were so fortunate to just get to see it.
We've had really great views
Yes.
so far. Now, honestly, as far as Epcot and what Epcot has done with the nighttime things, this lighting package, you're looking at the beacon of magic.
Yes, you were going to say beacon of light.
No,
Everybody
I finally learned the beacon of magic. This whole thing is phenomenal. This is an absolutely wonderful addition. My favorite of all the beacons and of all the new lightings that they have around the 4 parks so far.
I have not seen, there's a couple of them I haven't seen yet. I think that the Tree of Life probably looks like what it does normally when they do the nighttime effects. And then I would like to see the Magic Kingdom, the Cinderella Castle, and we'll see that soon. The Spaceship Earth, I've seen many times now at night, and it's beautiful. And I especially love it when it's more subtle, like here, and when it looks like stars, like a starry night. That's my favorite. And then all of a sudden it'll become really, you know, bright, like a friend of ours said, like Las Vegas, you know, like Las Vegas. But I actually love it like that also. But like this right now is almost my favorite effect, just with the starry lights.
And I actually like this when it's really moving. Right after Harmonious, it starts this whole kind of in motion lighting package. And I can just sit here and stare at it. As a matter of fact, I think when this is going on, I always like to just stop whatever I'm doing and just enjoy this.
And I like this too. Like, I like all of it. But I would like to see a little more of the subtle also, and not just like once this starts, and actually this I like too. I like that the more subtle.
This
a lot
only
of times.
happens for a few minutes. The majority of the time, it's the subtle effect that you mentioned. This is a short little thing that happens.
When we saw it, especially that first night, it seemed like it was very little of the subtle and a lot of the really heavy glowing, which I like. Again, I like it all. But like right here, I just love those twinkly type of lights.
And this gives me ideas. I wonder if this technology will be put onto other icons. Can you imagine Cinderella Castle really glowing? I mean, we've seen it in ice, but with lights illuminated through all the castle. I mean, who knows? There's such potential with this.
Well, I keep calling it the Spaceship Earth. It's just Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth, it's the only of the three, or of the four, it's the only one that's a permanent, and nothing's ever permanent, unless things go away.
But we
never
found
come
out
back.
this will continue after the 18-month 50th anniversary celebration.
They created to be a permanent lighting package, so I mean, this could be forever. As long as Spaceship Earth is here, we may see this beautiful lighting on it. And I thought they did a good job. And of course, you're probably going to show the monorail.
That's right. And very, very shortly, we'll see the monorail. And the monorails, even the Magic Kingdom loop, all the monorails at night are illuminated. And they're very beautiful, by the way.
And I would say, like, of almost everybody that we know and have talked to, this is their favorite thing, for the 50th is really Spaceship Earth. And also with the monorail lighting package as well.
And speaking of the monorail, here we go. It is monorail blue.
Yes, and it looks really. We didn't know this was going to happen on the first night,
right?
So it was really.
It wasn't even the first night. It was the 29th. It was the first day of the media event.
Well, I mean, it was the first night that they did the Spaceship Earth and everything. So it was a surprise for everybody. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, there's lights on the monorail as well.
So anyway, that is another show. Thanks to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Thanks to them. Check them out. They're right now they are on, or they may have already left, the Virgin Scarlet Lady cruise.
So Looked like a great time.
Yeah, they do all kinds of cruises, pretty much any cruise you can imagine. And of course, the Disney Cruise Line, the Disney Wish, which comes out next year.
And we have them doing the Disney Wish for us as our travel agent.
Yes, and so they are fantastic. So I don't know what we're doing next week.
There's a lot to choose from, but I can Kite Tails, one of the best things ever. But we're going to look at that's a story for another day.
I'm going to say it now.
Okay.
So we haven't been to the parks in almost a week because I
you tripped.
I twisted my ankle. Don't go over those benches.
They tell you that
but
you
I
should
didn't
not step over the benches.
I didn't hear it until afterwards.
Common sense would
I got
tell
all
you
banged up
to not step over the benches.
No, it doesn't. I didn't want to interrupt other people when I'm moving around a little bit. So anyway, we haven't gone. I've been trying to get my foot and everything healed for the last almost a week.
But you've done everything right. So I think, with the icing, with wrapping and all this, and I went with someone else I went with Matt from Attractions to the Kiss concert.
Which was for the best.
Right. And so you originally would have gone to that. So, back in force. Tomorrow. We'll be out tomorrow.
A little bit. So yes, for a little bit.
Disney Springs. Maybe some Epcot.
Maybe. And then a number of days off probably just to... because next
Legoland.
Tuesday...
We're going to Legoland
for
the big anniversary.
But we want to be careful because then next Tuesday is when we're going to do the...
Disney Genie.
Disney Genie,
Plus.
yes.
Disney Genie Plus.
Which will be more than one park and everything.
And maybe if you're really good, we could do Lightning Lane Plus or whatever they're called for the...
Ratatouille.
For the rat.
I could do that, and then you can wait in line, and we can see how long it takes.
Oh, I like it the other way around.
No, not with my foot. You can't do that.
Anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we will see you all next week.
Have a great week.